Hey there, this is Ray from Ray's Guide, and I'm here in Grim Hex because I've been seeing some new sorts of missions needing for time-critical salvage to reach the surface of a nefarious ship before the long arm of the law arrives. Now, normally I don't do much of the illegal activities, but being a problem solver that cleans up after other people's mistakes.
You're Jimmy, right? This is your house?
Sure is.
I'm Winston Wolfe. I solve problems.
Good, we got one.
So I heard. May I come in?
Yeah, please do.
Well, I think I can do that. Well, some of these are for quite large ships, hammerheads and caterpillars, with rewards up to 250,000 credits. Obviously, those are expected to be team prices for a fully accrued reclaimer to handle. At the small end, though, there are missions to clean up a cutlass, paying 80,000 AUC. Now, are those feasible for a single operator complete? Presumably, of course, if you can work fast and not waste any time. So I'm looking to answer 9 questions that I have. First, are the 80K Cutlass cleanup missions in general suitable for a single person in a Vulture? Second, can it be done as a solo job, or are helpfuls, well, helpful? Third, do you really have to clean up every single inch of the hull like the description says? Fourth, some do's and don'ts to aid in your success. Fifth, are there secondary loot available, such as weapons and cargo containers? Sixth, do the authorities still show up if you completed the scraping? And if you have completed the scraping, do they hassle you, or you can just continue what you're doing? Seventh, can the recycled hull metal be sold at full price, or do you need to take it to a no-questions-asked junkyard for less profit?
On my way, Rex.
We cool?
Like it never happened.
Eighth, same thing but for the salvage components or weapons, which of course adds up to 9. How lucrative is this? I mean, considering that it is a cleanup job rather than having to risk your hide or doing some combat or having your own money at risk, it shouldn't be as lucrative as high-risk combats or massive trading runs, but hopefully it is good. But before getting too far into answering those questions, I have a little side observation. We know that someday the Argo SRV is going to stop being delivered, and how might that change this sort of mission entirely? I mean, take your SRV, swoop in, grab the ship, and then skedaddle, and have all your time you want for salvage. I'm not sure anybody has really thought this one through. Anyway, back to the 9 questions, and to not keep you waiting for an hour watching me scrape, I'll say that even with a few first-timer mistakes, I did finish in time with about 10 minutes still on the clock. Second, although I didn't finish with a lot of spare time, the fraction of time I spent unloading crates from the hopper was not enough to be worth having to split the profit with anybody else. Third, although I did have to pick the Cutlass pretty clean, it did in fact still have bits after the mission was marked as complete. So the description saying that it has to be every square inch given by the mission giver is not strictly accurate. Fourth, now some do's and don'ts.
Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen. If I was informed correctly, the clock is ticking. Is that right, Jimmy?
100%.
First, the clock starts ticking on these missions as soon as you accept them. So if the mission says it's going to be around yellow, and it looks like all of them are, then where should you be before accepting the mission? Yellow, of course. So do accept the mission somewhere around yellow. Plus, of course, do first already have the essential tool for the job, in this case a handheld tractor beam. Now, don't waste any time getting there.
I'm talking fast.
Use quantum points as much as possible. Now, in this case, the mission did give me a quantum marker, but not right away. So I spent some time in slow boat speed before noticing that I now did have a marker. Next, do use a wide scraper laser like the Abrade.
Just give it a good once-over. What you need to take care of are the really messy parts.
Why so? Because it is easier not to miss any corners or little bits. Being thorough is very important, and you don't want to be frantic at the end trying to find a little sliver or corner that your smaller diameter scraper had missed. Next, do be methodical. Work on one side of the ship at a time and hold your scraper on an area until it wears down to 0 before moving on. Remember, it is thoroughness first, speed second.
Scoop up all those little pieces of brain and skull. Get it out of there. Wipe down the upholstery.
Next, don't bump the ship. It will send it spinning and moving and make everything harder. However, don't panic when you do so anyhow, and you will. As long as the spinning isn't too out of control, just switch to what I call pig on a spit method. Just keep a steady, safe position away from the ship, and then let its rotation which will slowly reduce as you work it. Just keep that barbecue turning, and when it completes one rotation without extracting more, just sidestep the next bend and bake off some more. Do start to build a mental map of what the ship looks like when stripped, so that you'll be able to spot the bits still needing to be done. An easy way to get started is with the ship itself. Is there a spot on the left side of the ship that looks more naked than the spot on the right side of the ship? Well, there you go. Do set the hopper for auto eject so that it will fill one crate, eject it, and then fill another one to the point of being ready to eject. Then it'll say it's blocked. You can then go to the hopper, move the crate out of the output belt, immediately eject the one that's inside the hopper, and then move it. That way you only have to get out of your pilot seat once every 2 SCU of output. By the way, I'm not sure if this was just a problem with my ship, but I was not able to eject the partially full crate at the end of the mission. So I guess I could have spent a lot more time making individual canisters at that point, but I decided to just leave it as contents for the next mission. Now back to the questions. Question number 5. Although secondary loot crates would have been neat, I did not see any crates at all. On the other hand, I did find one Badger repeater underneath the wing that hadn't been broken off, and 2 Panther repeaters on the turret. Obviously, this might be different case by case, but still worth the effort to go EVA at the end either way. 6, just as I was getting ready to depart, the authorities did show up in an Avenger, and luckily they paid me no heed in my seemingly ordinary salvage. 7th, I went to Austin and was able to sell the recycled material composite at full market price at the TDD. 8, I was able to go to Cousin Crow's and sell the Badger and 2 Panthers at their full resale price. So 9, finally, what did I make? Well, adding up the reward, the price for the hull metal I sold, and the value of the hull metal still in the ship, and the salvage price of the weapons, if you put it all together, it was about 125,000 UEC for less than an hour and a half of effort, including the flying back to Orson and selling. You can think of a way of making more, but most of those require investing large quantities of capital at risk or having combat hazards, or both. So all in all, not bad at all. Surprise Kitty approved. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the first. This here's Ray with Ray's Guide.
Here it comes. God damn!
Now for an update on our giveaways, first you have the 10,000 subscriber thank you for either the $100 of Steam Store credit or the LTI Hull C, the colossal cargo container carrying craft you're giving away when the sea goes live, now being tested in the PTU, so maybe not long now. And then in November, the big annual IAE Week chip giveaway for your choice of either the Galaxy Complete, the Massive Modular Mining Moving Medical Machine, or the brand new big box bargain bazaar called the Merchantman, or again, $100 of Steam Store credit. Just be a member and be entered automatically, or subscribe and comment using the secret word. And the secret word for this video is the name of the technique to use if you accidentally bump the salvage ship and it starts slowly spinning.
Mr. Wolf, I just want to tell you it was a real pleasure watching you work.
Yeah, really, and thank you very much, Mr. Wolf.
Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Danny Raymond for Ray's Guide.